You quit your job. Does that mean you're going to leave off me?
No, it's not true. Becoming independent is like a career change. That doesn't mean there's no money coming in.
You're going independent? Are you kidding me? That's not going to work. Then you should go independent from me too.
Huh?
Divorce! I'm talking about divorce. I'm not going to support an unemployed person.
My name is Lisa. I'm 40 years old, working while raising my child. I haven't worked since my daughter was born, but I was lucky enough to be rehired by my former employer when she started elementary school. I work mainly from home. My daughter is grown and she is the 6th grade now. Now that I've settled down with child rearing, I think it's time for me to try something new at work. My husband is the same age, 40. When we married, he was a salesman with good earning potential. Confident in his sales performance, my husband changed jobs 3 years ago, expecting to earn a higher salary. But the reality is the exact opposite. His salary has gone down, his benefits are worse than at his previous company, and he has to work overtime every day. My family is a farmer in the countryside. My daughter has been watching them work the fields since she was a little girl. When she goes to the countryside, she happily helps with that. My parents are happy to work in the fields with their grandchildren. They were devoted to do all kinds of field work with my daughter. However, my husband hates the countryside, and he never wants to go with me to my parents' house for any reason. I'm going back to my parents' house for a week. How about you?
I have work to do, so no thanks. I've got a project that's coming to a close.
I see. Roger that. I know from the beginning that my husband won't be coming, but we're family for a change. Even if you know he's not coming, you still have to ask. And when my daughter and I live on my parents' house, my husband calls me every day. There's nothing wrong with this contact if it is about worrying us or showing his love to us, but my husband contacts me for things that don't matter.
What should I eat today?
Why don't you just eat the leftovers from the fridge?
I'm not in the mood for that.
Then why don't you cook something yourself?
What? Why should I? I'm tired.
Yeah, you've worked hard.
Where's my change of clothes?
It's all folded up in your usual drawer.
Whoa, what's with that folding? Cut corners?
Well, you're on your own then. My husband's been like this is the whole time I've been at my parents' house. So for the most part, I ignored my husband's calls and messages. My husband doesn't like it when my daughter and I go back to my parents' house either. Every time we come home from my parents' house, the house is overflowing with garbage.
Mom, when we go to Grandpa's house, Dad always leaves the room so messy.
Yes, he does.
Why do you always clean up the mess, Mom? He's the one who makes the mess, right? Shouldn't he clean up after himself?
Certainly. My daughter is also half disgusted with my husband's attitude.
Even though we're enjoying Grandpa's house, I hate it because it's always dirty when I come home.
Yeah, Mom hates it too.
Hey, can't we live at Grandpa's house? Grandpa and Grandma must have a hard time working in the fields. I wish I could help out there.
Thank you. Grandpa and Grandma would love that. My daughter has a kindness that bears no resemblance to my selfish husband. I'm sure I'm just tired of my husband's childish ways. Then, after a long vacation, I went to my company to discuss my health annual assessment and goals. My daughter's comments prompted me to bring up a proposal to the president. Why don't we use our program to make agriculture more IT-oriented? Now, it's a business that other companies have been working on for quite a long time.
Indeed, the president is right. It is a business that has been in existence overseas for decades. Japanese companies have been building new business models in agriculture for about 10 years. I think with the patents we have, we can operate it successfully. We already have candidates for farmers who can cooperate with us as an operational model.
I see. In the meantime, can you submit a proposal?
Okay, I will. I immediately asked my parents for the cooperation. They both readily agreed right away. My daughter's words that her grandparents are hard at work and that she wants to help. She gave me a great business opportunity. A month after the proposal was made, my project was approved. From there, I worked like crazy. I was worried about my parents, who were getting older every year. So if this project was successful, I would be very happy if this project could help them. But my husband was relentless in his attempts to dampen my enthusiasm.
You've been acting kind of flirtatious lately, haven't you? I don't like it.
Oh, really?
Are you getting carried away?
I don't know.
Your face demotivates me.
Well, it's bad for your mood. Then you don't have to look at me. I know what my husband wants. He just wants to make him feel bad. I feel bad enough, just as my husband wants me to. But I dare not show it on my face. I don't change my tone of voice and I treat him normally. He has always been like this. For some reason, when I get carried away or seem to be enjoying myself, he is always eager to hurt me. I'm used to this kind of thing by now, so I don't deal with it. But that doesn't sit well with him.
Huh? I can't just not look at you. We live together.
That's not true. All you have to do is stay in your room. I'm perfectly capable of doing my job and taking care of my daughter. I'm sure if you took care of yourself, we wouldn't have to have any contact.
That is not what I was talking about.
My husband yelling at me. I'm really pissed off. I want to divorce my husband, but I don't know what to tell my daughter. I can't make up my mind. And since I don't react to his words, the last thing he does is criticize the farmer.
Maybe your inability to read what's actually behind the words is because you grew up on a farm in the countryside.
He really is a child. I try to act normal, but when he brings up my parents, it really pisses me off. But this time, I'm the one who's keeping a pretty level head. For the first time, a project I proposed that I wanted to work on has been adopted. I'm so motivated that my husband's annoyance is not a big problem for me. So, you can't do your job because you grew up in the city?
You're crossing the line.
That's exactly what I'm going to say to you.
Don't be the dick.
No, you were the one who said that first. We've been arguing like this a lot lately. He used to be a nice guy. Then, just before he changed his job, he changed. My husband and I didn't get along, but my work was going inversely well. A few months later, I resigned from the company. After consulting with the company, I decided to leave and to sign a license agreement with the current company, and I decided to become independent. Of course, I had told my husband about this in advance. I guess he didn't listen to me at all, because as soon as I resigned from the company, I was told by my husband that he was divorcing me.
You quit your job. Does that mean you're going to live off me?
No, that's not true. Independence is like a career change. That doesn't mean there's no money coming in.
You're going to become independent? Are you kidding me? That's not going to work. Then go independent from me too.
Huh?
Divorce. I'm talking about divorce. I'm not going to support an unemployed person.
I was at a loss for words, startled by the sudden words divorce. It was because I was thinking of my daughter.
Mom,
get a divorce. My daughter, who should have been sleeping, opened the living room door. My husband looked momentarily upset at this. I just made the obvious choice. It's your fault for saying you're quitting your job. My husband is standing in front of my daughter and insisting that this is not his fault. But my daughter only sees me. My husband is out of her mind from the beginning. Are you sure? Yes, I want you to divorce. I don't like him. He always says nasty things to you, Mom. Don't say you won't get a divorce for me. I want you to divorce right now. So, let's go live with Grandpa and Grandmom. Thank you. But you have to change schools. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I'm totally fine. Let's go. You don't have to talk to Dad anymore, right? Yeah, I guess so. Well, I guess that's it. We'll talk about the details later.
Hey!
Oh God.
What? It's not my fault.
Okay. So we'll talk later. Well, I hope you can live a life you won't regret in the future.
Huh? I ain't gonna do it. I'll be free once you guys are gone.
I turned my back on my husband, who was still ranting and raving, and left the house with my daughter. My daughter seemed relaxed at my parents' house. Despite my worries, my daughter, who was changed school since the new semester, seems to be enjoying her new school. Once my daughter was settled, my husband and I had another discussion about divorce. My husband said he would not pay alimony because I was to blame. Normally, if it was my fault, he would have to ask for alimony. However, my husband was not asking me for alimony. Does he not understand the meaning of liable? I will properly charge you alimony.
Huh?
Because you're liable, right?
I knew it. You're just unemployed. You don't have any knowledge. How can I be liable? I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you certainly didn't do anything about the house or our daughter. I was on the same terms as you, and I was the one struggling. But you're friendly with Mary, and you take care of everything for her.
What?
I laid the evidence of my husband's infidelity on the table.
What? How did you collect all this? You didn't steal my phone, did you? You're rude.
Excuse me, you're the rude one. You're a married man. What the hell are you doing? And I didn't collect these.
You're unemployed. You had the money to hire a detective?
It's our daughter.
Huh?
She's the one who collected all this. After we separated, my daughter told me that my husband used to walk arm in arm with a woman she didn't know, and she used my laptop to sync my husband's phone. She showed me the data and encouraged me to divorce. She said she hates you. She hates that you're her father. So I can divorce you without a second thought. I can't believe you let your daughter see these pictures of you. You're such a lousy father. I have all the evidence, so there's no point in trying to make excuses. Besides, your new job was caused by another affair. And you said you're paying alimony to the husband of that time's affair partner. You even lied about your salary being reduced, and you've looked into all of that. When I told him this much, my husband, who had been so bull-headed, nodded his head. I'm proud to have such a talented daughter. I would be happy if she takes over my company in the future. That is, of course, if she wants to.
Sorry. The devil's advocate. Let's not get divorced after all. You don't want to be unemployed either, do you?
No, I'm not stopping. Besides, you're the one in trouble. If you won't pay alimony and child support in the lump sum, I will come to your company and tell them everything.
Hey, if you do that, I'm not gonna be able to stay in my job.
Yeah, well, maybe you should start looking for a job again. You're going to regret this rest of your life. My husband sobbed and asked me for help, but I smiled and brushed him off. After that, my husband was reluctant to sign the divorce papers, so I hired a lawyer and left everything else to him. Then, in less than 2 weeks, we were divorced. My husband didn't want it to cost him any more money. He has 2 alimony cases and pays child support. On top of that, a lawyer would put my ex-husband on the verge of going broke. Then my ex paid alimony and child support in one lump sum. He couldn't pay them with his savings, so he went out of his way to inform me that he was in debt now. He was trying so hard to appeal to me that I must feel sorry for him, but I ignored him. When I filed a claim for alimony with the cheating partner as well, my ex-husband and the cheating partner broke up after a huge fight. The cheater was furious, asking why she was paying alimony, but in the end she said she would pay. She asked her parents to borrow the money. I heard that she went back to the countryside and helped the family business so that her parents can keep her under surveillance. My husband couldn't afford the rent on the apartment anymore. He now has to move into a shabby apartment. My business has taken off and I'm enjoying every day. Things didn't work out with my husband, but I'm glad that what I have learned has been useful for my family's farming business. My parents are happy that the IT system has reduced their work hours significantly and has lessened their workload. This whole thing was saved by my daughter. I had to let her have a smartphone and tablet in elementary school. There was some resistance, but my daughter seems to be using them well. My daughter's favorite place is still the field, but she is beginning to take an interest in my work. Lately, she's been asking me to teach her how to make a website. I'm looking forward for her future. The 12-year-old daughter is excellent, but because of that, it saddens me that she has seen the part of her father that she doesn't want to see. I hope the adults around her will take good care of her. Your mother is right. I look forward to your future.